What's up, everybody? This is Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I'm going to talk about sometimes we end up doing things that we don't want to do, right? Because we're listening to other people. We're getting all this pressure from everybody else saying, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. I can tell you right now, the difference in some of the friends I have and something they said that they've all said, which has kind of cracked me up, is when they finally moved away from their family or they were on their own or they had their business running, they were like, yeah, I told my parents the other day, if this doesn't work, and before they finished, the parents are like, you can come back here. Literally, all four of my friends were like, I'd rather be homeless. One said in Las Vegas. I'd rather be homeless in Texas. I'd rather be homeless in Georgia. And I'd rather be homeless in Virginia. And I was like, whoa. And they're like, I'd rather figure it out. I'd rather just work my ass off and, hustle up, Uber, Lyft, deliver pizzas, all this other stuff, then come back here. Because what happens is they have a small win. They've convinced you to come back. And I've been victim of this too multiple times. They've convinced you to come back so they can kind of further brainwash you. Like, you just need a job. You just need to do this or that. And the funny thing is, I have a friend, he made $50,000 from one flip. And his dad was like, man, you're real lucky, but you probably should still go into the military as a reservist so you can have some real stability. Do you know how much reservists make in a weekend? Just saying, not knocking the military, from a military family. Just saying, if you know anything about what reservists make in a weekend instead of a full-time person, like that's their full-time active duty military, it's a difference. It's a significant difference. If you're going to do that, if you want to go to the military, because you're like, I need some stability, just go ahead and go all the way in, get your 4 years in and just peace out. And I just don't think, being a reservist is financially as great as it could be, right? So, funny thing is, he's like showing his dad this money, like, I made all this money, do you not see? And his parents were still like, you still should still get a job, right? So what he did is he moved away from his parents, far away as he could. And you know what? He's still flipping houses now and actually owns his own house. And he said you'd be amazed that his parents still say, man, you really should have went in the military when you were younger. And it's been 5 years now he's been flipping houses. And the funny thing is they're literally serious. They're really serious as they talk to him about this. It cracks me up. So same goes with some other people I know who parents are just like, you really got to go to college. And I have friends who actually went to college, did not want to be there. Parents were not paying for it. They were there because it was like, well, you can't come back here. You can't live here. What will you do if you don't go to college? And the guy didn't even know what he wanted to do in college and was there. I mean, he just hated it. And he actually stayed, I think, 3.5 years before he left. I don't know. I can't remember when he left, but I think it's the third year he left from out of college. And he just moved to another state, Virginia, and started working and didn't even tell them till like 2 or 3 months in, like, hey, I've picked up and relocated from Chapel Hill to now I'm in Richmond, Virginia. I have an apartment. I have my own place. I have a full-time job as a manager at UPS or something like that. I think he was at a FedEx store. But it was just so funny because they were so upset. They were so like, oh my God, you left school. And he's like, yeah, I did. And I'm taking this job that's paying me $40,000 a year. I'm going to just do this. And he said, till this day, they still like, you should go back and finish your degree. You really should. You should really do that, Erica. You should really do that, Sam. You should really do that. I mean, like, it's just all these things, right? So, like, my mom, anytime she wants to tell me something, she's like, you should really do that, Erica. And it's just the most sincere face because they're operating out of an area of fear. They're operating out of this whole fear-based thing of saying, if you don't get a job, if you're not like everybody else, you won't be able to have a normal life. You won't get married. You won't have kids. You won't have any of the things everybody else has. But we all know that's not true. We all know that narrative is dead. But we have family members and we have people around us who are still doing that, still telling that story, still telling that narrative. So look, if you're a person in this situation, listen, then I'm sorry, but you're going to have to move away. You're going to have to spend less time. Let's say you say, Erica, we live in the same city. I love my city. I'm not moving. Fine, don't move away from your family. But I want you to spend 5 out of your 7 days a week completely immersed in YouTube, completely immersed in conferences, completely immersed around other business people, and have results. Because what happens is once you start making money, once you start like having the car, having the house, having other stuff, it's hard for them to keep giving you that same story. When you're struggling, you're in a 1-bedroom apartment, you've had a couple years of it, the success rolling in, that's when people get frustrated. So that's why in my other video before, see if I can link it up here, I talked about going on a cruise once a year, just to relieve stress of creating a business for yourself or working multiple jobs, just trying to get this income up to kind of free yourself from debt. Either one of those strategies, you need a break, because if you don't take a break at some point, you'll go cuckoo. Okay. So I always recommend the cruise at the end of the year to kind of liven yourself up. Right. So look, if you're in that situation, listen, I understand it. I experienced it personally. You need space and you need no dependence on them whatsoever, because they will sabotage you every way they can. I've had family members who've done all kinds of things that I just knew. I knew because I read The Art of War for Women. I've read 48 Laws of Power, and I've read some other stuff that I knew was sabotage. It was emotional sabotage. And once I moved to Texas, which is 20 hours away, it became even worse. It just became rampant and just over the top. And it was emotional sabotage. That's what it was. It was like, you're missing the best years of your life here with your family. No, you guys will still be there. I can visit often. As I make more money, I can visit you often, but what you're doing is trying to sabotage me to fit into the space that is your life, that is here. And I'm not going to be there. So, look, get space. If you're really hardcore with what you're doing, so hardcore that every day and night your parents are like, this person, that's all they talk about, they're crazy. That's the only way it kind of breaks that up. But I remember having a part-time job at Lowe's and Papa John's, right? And it was in between when the business had a low season. And when the season picked back up and I made like significant money to stash away, they were still like, you should go back and get your part-time jobs. And I was like, dude, I made 20 grand. What do you mean? They're like, oh, that's still not enough. Go back to your part-time jobs. Because they could not operate or understand, oh my God, you have no job, you're going to die. Like I make articles about this all the time about emotional sabotage and how a lot of friends and family want to be entrepreneurs and want to do stuff, but they have a person just pulling on them and sabotaging them, honestly. So look, get space. I know it's tough. Spend time with business related friends, kind of close out all that other time. You guys have a great day. Bye.